everybody, welcome to Bar Z. My name's Stan, and we're working on the next batch of hot shots after the bash. Finally got some breathing room here, and was able to order in some sheet metal kits and get ready for the next lucky recipients. And they are Dan Albershart, Stephen Browse, Lonnie Zanetti, Chandler Childs, Lyle Mayick, Mike Augustin, Glenn Faleppel, Chris Johnson, Rick Harrell, Brian Willman, Steve Barton from Solid Rock Machine, Don Cossett, everybody knows Don Cossett, and Robert Whitecamp from Dudley Toolwright, Sean Donahoe, Thomas Kearns, Ted Preacher, and Dale Spencer. You guys are on the list for this build. This build is currently full, but I got way more ovens than that, so I'm good to build more later. You know, after this batch is complete, we'll start another batch build. But I've got a lot of duplexes in here. We are offering the duplex in a production model now. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 duplexes in this order. So 5 of them are the double stacked ovens. So it's basically like building 2 ovens. But these are the lucky recipients of this batch. What we do have available now is a lot of you guys have been waiting for the sheet metal kits, and I've got all the parts ready to box up, and we can get them out to you right away. Let me move the camera around. I'll bring all the parts over to the bench, and I'll remind you of what you're getting, you know, in the sheet metal kit. The sheet metal kits are reasonably priced. I don't make a whole lot of money on them, but I don't have to do anything to them. They come in, they're laser cut, they're formed, they're ready to go, and I just put them in a box and ship them off. So I'm not making a lot of money on them. Everyone's seen me build them on the channel. Go back a little bit farther on this playlist and you can see them getting put together. And this is the first batch that has come in. I'm happy to say, of all US sourced material. We have all US stainless steel here. And this is the first time for the hot shot. A lot of times it's not even a choice, it's a lack of options. But now when they ask me foreign or domestic, I choose the domestic, and it's not that much more money. So it's finally happening, guys. I mean, it was a growing pain to get everything back here in the States, but now it's happening. And I've had a couple of batches of steel and of ovens, you know, different things that are coming in that are US sourced. So it's pretty exciting. All right, let's get it onto the bench and take a look at what you get with the kit. Okay, I thought I'd get started with the main body of the kit. It comes the left and right side, the main oven shell, and a door. And they're all coated with the laser film on one side, on the important side. And you've already got holes. These are for the element to pass through. These line up with the control panel on the side. So these are the element holes. And these take a porcelain insulator button. And this is for your thermocouple. And all the pilot holes are pre-punched for your pop rivets. So you've got pop rivet pilot holes already there. So that's the right side of the oven. This is the left side. No holes in that one. And then you get an oven shell. So this is top, back, and bottom of your oven. And all of our we're hemmed on all the business sides, so you don't have any sharp edges to cut you. So we do have hems on everything, and we've got hems on the 2 front parts of the oven, here and here. So those are hemmed, rolled back in 1/4 inch. And basically this oven just goes together left and right halves, as you see it there. And when you assemble them, you just have to make sure everything stays nice and square and everything lines up good. But that's your basic box there, and you just follow your pilot holes. Get it all clamped together, get all your pilot holes, get everything drilled, and I use 1/8 inch stainless steel pop rivets when I assemble. And then your door is a 4-sided with a return on the back, and this return retains your door insulation when you slip your door insulation in there. And this just kind of, you put this on with a stainless steel piano hinge, and you get a cheat sheet. So that's your door configuration there. All right. And you get a cheat sheet in with the kit that tells you what door handles I use, what hinges I use, what door latches I use, all the little parts that you may need to complete your kit. I do give you a cheat sheet. I can email it to you too, of all the miscellaneous parts that I use and that I have found adequate. I source them from a bunch of different places. There's some stuff available on Amazon that's adequate, and there's some that's not adequate, and I've weeded all those out for you already. I've already found the ones that work and the ones that don't work. So anyways, that's the main oven shell and how it goes together. And then next you've got a control box that sits over here on the side of it with a slant top. Let me get all those parts laid out and we will go through that. Okay, well now we got the control box here, and this just sits on the side of the oven, as so, with a slant top. Let's go over all the holes real quick and show you what all these holes are for. The top, nothing, plain. A back, 120 millimeter cooling fan with the bolt pattern. Number 10 screw hole for a ground. This is where you're put a ground lug there. 7/8 hole here for a conduit hub, or cord hub to bring your main power cord in. And then you got a 1/2 inch hole here, and you put a small plastic bushing in there, and that's what you bring your cord out for the cooling fan. So you've got a little cord that passes under here, and it plugs in right underneath here. So you'll have a little cord passing over this bushing. Okay, so that's the back of the unit. Let's look at the bottom. Cooling holes here. These are for your heating element, where your heating element comes out of the porcelain block and passes into the oven. So we pass a little bit of air through there. This is for the mounting hole for your porcelain block. Inside of the panel, there's a little porcelain connector block that you can put in there, and that'll connect your wires directly to your heating element. And these holes here line up with the holes in the side of the oven where your element passes through. This hole and these two small screw holes are for an SSR with a heat sink. So when the fan's running, it'll pull air in across the SSR and across these 3 holes here. This is an optional hole. You can put a circuit breaker in here, or you can put it in the cover. Either one, doesn't matter. That's a 7/16 hole, but I use the push to reset circuit breakers. And I'm currently putting them in the bottom of the oven, so you just got a little button that sticks down below the panel for protection, electrical protection. All right, so that's the bottom. Here's the front, 22 millimeter or 7/8, however you want to call it. Hole is up front. This is for an alarm. You can notice it's offset, and we've got room here in the bottom so that when your alarm, so those alarm horns, they stick in about this far. And you want to make sure you clear this SSR. So they do hang in, so that's why that hole is offset up and it's centered. You'll notice I've got one small spotted hole there in the corner. Very hard to see. Right there on the tip of my thumb. All I had him do was hover and fire with the laser and just poke a little pilot hole there. That is a pilot hole for the door limit switch. These 2 holes here are for a little bracket you can make, and you mount a very small cherry switch right there, and then there's a rod that comes through with a spring through that hole, and that's your door limit switch. So these 2 holes and this hole are optional. If you don't want them, plug them up. Okay, so that's the main box, and this turned out, over its evolution, it's become a very complex unit. There's a lot of holes in that thing. But the main cabinet, you got a side plate here. This just slips in from the side, kind of completes the side. And you've got pilot rivet places there. That's going to go in like that. Then you get a face plate. It's already got a 48 by 48 millimeter cutout for a temperature controller. It's got one small return there. And what that does, I'll see if I can do this without it all blowing apart. There. It kind of creates a box look to the end after you put that cover on. So there's the cover plate. And then you do get, in the kit, I do give you a blank nameplate. And this just gets riveted onto this cover. I use double stick tape and rivets to put that down. And you cut out your temperature controller hole and drill whatever holes you need for your heat enable. You're optionally, you can put the overload out here in the front and control power there. So you do get a nameplate. So, and everything's 304 stainless. The control box, the oven cabinet, everything's 304 stainless except that. That's anodized aluminum, and it's got, that actually has a laser film on it, so you can do all your cutting and drilling and then peel the laser film off after you're done. Okay? So that's everything that comes in the kit. And if you want to know about the kit, you know, if you want to know about these stainless steel kits, just shoot me an email, barzindustrial@msn.com. I'll throw it in the video description. Okay, guys, that's what you get with the kit. And in this batch, we've got one double super secret prototype going. It's not going to be double super secret anymore. It's going to be the Hotshot 1200. I've talked about it, but now it's time to build it. And we're building one prototype. And it doesn't even have a buyer. We don't even know where it's going yet. I'll probably do a bunch of testing here on it. But the Hotshot 1200 is going to have a working chamber of 10 inches wide, 10 inches high, and 12 inches deep. Still capable of all the same temperatures as the 360, but it's just a larger working environment. It's going to have the same control box on the side. So the 1200 is coming. And possibly after that, we're going to have a 1200 duplex. Who knows? But it's coming. I want to add to this product line and get an assortment of ovens that people can choose from. All right. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on the next one.